I'll never forget his name because he was one of the first people that really helped shape my life going forward. Like, he helped me grow up a lot, understand a lot of things that I didn't understand before. When I was 2, I remember my mother leaving us at our grandfather's door, looking at me and telling me that I had to take care of my brother, that I was all he had.
I was raised by my mother and my father, but my mother was constantly in and out of her role as a mother. As far as my mother has a baffling addiction, and at times I'd always question myself whether or not her main issue was the drugs or her children, and so I finally concluded that it was indeed the drugs that she had cared about. And many years later I had also followed down that path, and I honestly didn't think to ever turn to that sort of source.
I got involved with drugs at a very early age, around 9-10 years old. And started off with just smoking with some people, started off with marijuana, and then it escalated into other harder drugs like opiates, heroin, cocaine, it got up there pretty quickly. I think about the age of 13 I was shooting up heroin and snorting coke at bathrooms of schools. I went out and tried to find it. I didn't have this self-respect or self-understanding that some other people have or were wanting. I wanted to be different because I didn't like who I was. In drugs, I thought that, hey, I was the cool guy. I was the life of the party. Everybody liked me, because I wasn't me, I wasn't the dyslexic kid who struggled in school and stuttered when he read. I wasn't the kid who couldn't read his own handwriting anymore. I was this invincible person, right? And, I thought that for a long time that drugs were an improvement of myself.
I started coming to Serenity High when I was 14 years old. My dad passed away when I was 13 from a drug overdose, and I guess I just kind of lost control there for a little bit. I didn't really know how to handle it, and I turned to drugs and alcohol. I have been in and out of rehab several times for the past 4 or 5 years, just because I wasn't yet ready to deal with everything that comes with the passing of a parent, and Serenity High has been here for me. It's really helped me get through that. Well, every time that I've gone to treatment, it's been really disappointing for me. Every time I've relapsed and had to start over. Serenity High, all the teachers who work here, every time I come back, I'm always welcomed with open arms. They're always extremely supportive of me. Definitely just helped me get back on the right track.
Well, I actually started when I was 15, just went over to my friend's house, kind of like a casual visit, and he offered me some weed, and I was interested, and that was my first time trying weed. That continued for a couple of months just on the weekends, and then it progressed to more casual use day to day, and then I started getting caught and started using other things that didn't show up on drug tests. Well, fortunately, I have 2 recovering addicts in my family, my mom and my dad, and that's actually really helpful. They've been really supportive.
Alright, well, I'm from Dallas, Texas, and me and my brothers and my mom, we moved around a lot through my life, and my freshman year of high school, I kind of found myself through trouble and just not following the right path. One of my mom's friends told us about this place and how it can help us get into our own home, because before we were living in hotels after hotel, going to school from there. And so I'm glad that we're here now.
The main issue I feel is, the lack of communication that is going on between a parent and their child. And what is also really conflicting as well is that the child may feel pressure from his or her father or mother, and they they have really no one else to turn to because they feel that they have to turn to drugs or anything else that doesn't have to involve, communication, because some kids don't even know how to reach out to others or even, vocalize how they feel.
And the path has got to start with you asking for help, You're still drowning until you put your hand out of the water.
I think that a lot of times, I felt this way, especially whenever adults, I guess, treat it as if it's your fault. Like, I did this to myself, so I should get myself out of it. And the older you get and the longer you continue with your behavior that's not acceptable, like, adults just seem to blame you instead of providing you with the help that you need, I guess.
Well, I would say none of us are different. We're all the same in some way or fashion, but some of us might be too nervous to come out and talk to you. We might feel like you're gonna feel down on us, think differently of us, and if you just kind of express we're not gonna think any differently of you, we're still gonna love you, this isn't gonna change how we feel about you, we just kind of want the truth, and that would help me.
Well, I am pretty good at singing, I suppose. I was in a choir group, and I was ranked one of the highest sopranos out of my choir. As far as my college plans, I plan to attend college next year, and hopefully I continue to keep in mind of majoring in speech pathology.
And now I want to be able to give back and show that drugs weren't helpful, It didn't get me what I wanted. It didn't get me to a good place, And I want to be able to show that if you're like me, you can't keep going with using drugs.
I am really good at pottery. I love it. I love sculpting and throwing clay. It's just very freeing for me, I guess. I really enjoy writing a lot. It's I don't know, it gives me the same kind of feeling when I'm finished creating something.
Now I'm more interested in science. I'm planning on becoming an anesthesiologist, and I'm taking some science classes right now, and I'm just really interested in the science.
In my free time, I like to learn how to play the piano. I just like the tone and the sound of it. That'll be something I like to do. Well, I like to play basketball, and I say my favorite subject is English. I was pretty good at that. And my plans for the future is me going into the ministry and doing what guys lead me to do is being in the inner city, working with kids and preaching the gospel.